Shock washed over Wu Lin as he processed the news. Just as despair began to settle in, Sheng Yi intervened, urging them to hurry. She introduced herself as a friend of Teacher Wu from the prestigious Shrek Academy. With a sense of urgency, they made their way to the exam site, knowing they were already hours behind schedule. Wu Lin couldn't help but blame himself for their predicament. The weight of his self-doubt burdened him. However, Gu Yue, ever thoughtful, offered him some food to ease his troubled mind. They swiftly piled into the car, with Z taking the front seat. Xiaoyan informed Teacher Shen that they were ready, and with lightning speed, they embarked on their journey. Sitting in the back seat, Wu Lin found solace in the act of eating. It provided a temporary distraction from the overwhelming emotions that consumed him. Gu Yue handed him a drink, and Wu Lin expressed his gratitude. Z couldn't help but feel envious, thinking that Gu Yue was trying to get closer to Wu Lin. Upon their arrival at Shrek Academy, Shun Yi informed them that due to their delay, their exam might be more challenging. Additionally, if they were accepted into the school, they would have to work while studying. This meant that they would have to cover all their expenses. Z remained confident, trusting in their captain's ability to support them financially. However, Shun Yi clarified that it wasn't about money, but about working for the academy to offset tuition fees. They soon reached Spirit Ice Square, named after the legendary Spirit Ice Duoluo, Huo Yuhao, who was a renowned spirit pagoda master and the master of the Sea Lord Pavilion at Shrek Academy. Wu Lin was captivated by his story. Shun Yi promised they would learn more about him later and led them into the teaching building. Wu Lin couldn't help but admire the sculpture, aspiring to be as great as Huo Yuhao one day. As they continued their journey, Shun Yi revealed the name of the building, Shrek Towers. The walls were adorned with magnificent murals depicting the significant events that had unfolded over the past 20,000 years since the establishment of Shrek Academy. Wu Lin couldn't help but feel a sense of reverence as if they were embarking on a sacred pilgrimage. The thought of staying in such a remarkable place filled him with a desire for an unforgettable experience, one that he wished to share with his friends. Curiosity piqued, Xiaoyan inquired about the purpose of the round hall, while Z noticed the murals adorning the dome. Suddenly, Shun Yi vanished from sight. The first test had begun, and it was time for them to showcase their abilities. Wu Lin observed that the murals held a strange power. In a surprising turn of events, Z collapsed, but Wu Lin swiftly caught him, offering words of encouragement. Bewildered, Z questioned what had transpired. Realizing that they were in the midst of their examination, Wu Lin urged everyone to remain vigilant. Teacher Shen Yi was nowhere to be found, further confirming their suspicions. The tension in the air grew. Suddenly, a golden-eyed black dragon king charged towards them, prompting Wu Lin to confront it head-on bravely. Unleashing his golden dragon claw, he stood resolute, unaffected by the dragon's assault. His gaze locked fiercely with the dragon. However, before the battle could escalate, an older man joined the fray. He sensed the potential of hidden power within Wu Lin, a power that resembled that of a little monster. Throughout the years, he had never encountered a child who possessed the courage to face a majestic black dragon king, with golden eyes emanating its powerful aura. The initial test had concluded, and Shun Yi requested the older man, Old Li, to assign ratings for their performance. Old Li awarded Wu Lin a perfect score, while the other three received 8 points each, as he believed luck played a role in one's strength. Wu Lin couldn't help but feel elated. Old Li found him to be extraordinary, and had faith that he would become a formidable weapon in the future. With that, Old Li took his leave. Shun Yi then revealed that the examination consisted of multiple levels, with a maximum score of 10 points for each level and a minimum requirement of 6 points to pass. The final score would be calculated after completing all the levels. She instructed them to follow her to the next examination room. Z, feeling confident, remarked that the exam seemed easy, prompting Gu Yue to tease him playfully about his recent fainting episode. Suddenly, the lights went out, leaving Z wondering about their current whereabouts. As the second test began, Wu Lin warned his team to stay alert as he sensed something unusual. Suddenly, a space distortion occurred, transporting them to the arena where a massive rhino appeared. Wu Lin quickly strategized, directing Gu Yue and Xiaoyan to attack from behind, while Z distracted it from the sides. Despite using his blue and silver spikes, the rhino remained unharmed and charged towards Wu Lin. With a powerful punch, he managed to strike its nose, but it continued its relentless advance. Z launched an attack with the light dragon storm, striking the rhino. However, the rhino remained unharmed and stared back at him fiercely. Z was taken aback. Concerned about his well-being, Wu Lin asked Z to be cautious and warned him about the rhino's change in position. Without hesitation, the rhino charged towards them. Wu Lin bravely declared his readiness to face the beast head-on, unleashing his golden dragon claw. The rhino, with a menacing glare, was met with a powerful strike from Wu Lin. The resulting explosion sent Wu Lin flying, realizing the rhino's terrifying strength. However, he managed to withstand the attack thanks to the golden aura fortifying his body. When Wulin's golden aura surged, Z marveled at his captain's incredible abilities. With a burst of speed, Wulin charged at the rhino, with Xiaoyan assisting by immobilizing the beast with her Star Wheel ice staff. Now it was up to Wulin to finish the battle. Wulin leaped, and his golden dragon claw gleamed in the sunlight as he clenched his fists. With incredible speed, he soared towards the charging rhino, delivering a devastating punch that sent it crashing to the ground. Z watched in awe as Wulin effortlessly defeated the beast with just one strike. The rhino lay helpless on the ground, defeated by Wulin's newfound strength. Curiosity filled Z's mind as he wondered what Wulin had been doing in the past few days. It was astonishing how much his strength had improved in such a short period. Wulin revealed that his bloodline had once again mutated, granting him incredible power. Breaking the second seal had brought him numerous benefits, including a mysterious golden spirit ring that amplified his chi and blood. Not only that, but the golden dragon claw now consumed less of his spirit power and possessed even greater strength. As they marveled at Wulin's newfound abilities, a rumbling sound echoed from his belly. Z couldn't help but wonder why, considering they had just finished eating. Xiaoyan chimed in, acknowledging their captain's extraordinary appetite. Suddenly, darkness enveloped them once again, a familiar occurrence in the advanced examination room of Shrek Academy. Here, one could seamlessly transition between the real world and the illusionary world without any equipment. In the second level of the entrance exam, known as the Beast Arena, candidates were tasked with surviving for at least 1 minute under the relentless attacks of a spirit beast. Those who managed to harm the beast would earn extra points. Wulin and his team emerged triumphant from the arena. Shunyi made the announcement, revealing the results. Wulin and Z received 10 points each. Gu Yue scored 8, and Xiaoyan scored 10 points. Wulin was amazed at how well they had performed. Z then took charge and instructed the group to follow her. She believed that these kids truly embodied Shrek's motto of being little monsters. Wulin felt a sense of pride for his senior brother, knowing that he had provided them with valuable combat experience. Finally, they reached the location for their third trial, which aimed to test their adaptability to new environments. With only 1 minute to prepare, they would have to pass through all the gates once Shunyi signaled the start of the trial. There were a total of 6 gates, and if someone managed to finish within 30 seconds, they would earn 6 points. Additionally, for every 3 seconds they finished early, they would receive an extra point, but for every 3 seconds they were late, they would lose a point. With the guillotines ready to be raised, she announced that the 1-minute countdown was about to start. Z felt confident in this challenge, as it was his area of expertise, but Xiaoyan couldn't help but feel a little scared. Wulin asked Gu Yue to test the power of the guillotine blades, which were capable of producing around 3,000 kilograms of force with each descent. Gu Yue quickly devised a plan and assured Wulin that she would protect Xiaoyan. Wulin, with his immense physical strength, would carry Xiaoyan on his back, while Z would follow closely behind. Gu Yue was confident that her plan would succeed. However, Z couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about the plan. Suddenly, the countdown began, and Wulin realized that time was running out. He urgently instructed Gu Yue to get on his back quickly. The trial commenced, and Wulin encouraged his teammates to move swiftly. Z and Xiaoyan nodded in agreement. Leading the way, Z and Xiaoyan took the front while Wulin and Gu Yue followed closely behind. Suddenly, a guillotine blade dropped on Gu Yue and Wulin. Shunyi, Z, and Xiaoyan were all concerned. Wulin, using his golden dragon claw, held the blade in place, questioning its weight of 3,000 kilograms. Shunyi was impressed. With all his strength, he lifted the blade so that he and Gu Yue could pass through. Shunyi was puzzled by this feat. Catching up with Z and Xiaoyan, Z admired Wulin's incredible physical prowess and wondered if he was human. Wulin had yet to face the full force of the guillotine blades. As they continued forward, Shunyi marveled at how easily Wulin faced the daunting obstacles. Wulin and his golden dragon claw made light work of the menacing blades. Completing the trial in just 14 seconds, they all earned 10 points. Shunyi instructed them to follow her to the next challenge. She couldn't understand why Gu Yue was still on Wulin's back after the trial ended. Gu Yue was embarrassed and asked Wulin to continue carrying her because she was scared. Z was baffled and irritated. He couldn't comprehend Gu Yue's fear. They quickly followed Shunyi. Their next challenge involved testing their strengths, with only one specialty being evaluated. Shunyi encouraged them to consider what they would showcase carefully. Afterward, she left to fetch the administrators for the trial. Xiaoyan was curious about what their specialty meant, so Wulin explained that it referred to their greatest strength as spirit masters, for instance, Z's agility. Xiaoyan then asked her captain what she should do since her full potential only emerged at night. Wulin suggested that she describe it in words, as she had already demonstrated it during the second trial, and could easily provide proof. Wulin emphasized the importance of resting as much as possible, as it was a rare opportunity. They all assumed their meditation stances and began meditating. Shortly after, Shunyi returned with the trial's administrators. One of them, Elder Kai, inquired if the 4 kids were the ones she had heard about. She observed them thoughtfully and found Gu Yue to be exceptional. She then instructed Xiao Yi to tell them to begin. Shunyi relayed the message to Wu Lin and his team that the trial's administrators had arrived and were ready to begin. It was Zi's turn to showcase his skills. Wu Lin emphasized the importance of leaving a lasting impression. With confidence, Zi greeted the teachers, and Elder Kai, who was growing impatient, urged him to start, knowing that he only had one chance to impress her. Zi proceeded to demonstrate his light dragon clone, followed by his shadow dragon clone. The administrators were astounded to see 6 clones, with half of them being invisible. They found his abilities quite impressive. However, Elder Kai remained silent, her thoughts hidden. After Zi finished his presentation, Elder Kai inquired about the similarity between his twin spirit essences, which Zi confirmed. Elder Kai acknowledged his performance but pointed out his lack of control. She advised him to focus on refining his ghost shadow perplexing trick before considering giving all his clones the same abilities. Additionally, she noted that his mental power was currently weak and suggested prioritizing its strengthening. Elder Kai informed him that if he could reach the Spirit Sea Realm within 3 years, his potential would be limitless. Wu Lin admired Elder Kai's keen observation skills. Zi felt disheartened, believing he had failed. Wu Lin reassured him, reminding him that if Elder Kai didn't see potential in him, she wouldn't have given him so much advice. They were all students at Shrek Academy, after all, with the purpose of learning and growing. Impatiently, Elder Kai called for the next person to step forward. Xiao Yan's turn was up next. After exchanging greetings with the examiners, she proceeded to explain that she couldn't showcase her specialty during the daytime because her spirit essence had a different form at night. Elder Kai's curiosity was piqued, and Xiao Yan elaborated further, revealing that her spirit essence transformed into the Star Wheel Ice Staff, harnessing the power of starlight during the night. This transformation altered her spirit skills. Curious about her background, Xiao Yan asked if the administrator was aware of her family. Elder Kai assured her that there were very few things in the world of spirit masters that Shrek didn't know about. He then instructed her to rejoin her friends. However, Xiao Yan wasn't finished explaining yet. Impatiently, Elder Kai reminded her that since she knew about her origins, she should also be aware of the absolute control she had over her starlight spirit skills. He commanded her to return to her friends and called out impatiently for the next person. Wu Lin congratulated Xiao Yan, commending her for a job well done, and encouraged her to take a moment to relax. Elder Kai couldn't help but notice that Wu Lin stood out as the leader of the team despite his young age. Impressed by his confidence, she called him forward and asked him to demonstrate why his teammates had such unwavering faith in him. Wu Lin, after exchanging greetings with the examiners, began his presentation. He proudly showcased his specialty, which was his immense power. One of the administrators couldn't help but marvel at the sight of Wu Lin's golden spirit ring. Elder Kai, too, noticed something peculiar about his spirit ring. It wasn't made of spirit power, but rather emitted blood essence fluctuations, while his spirit power remained calm and serene. This left her intrigued and wondering about the source of his abilities. Wu Lin himself was clueless, only aware that his bloodline granted him a unique spirit skill resembling a spirit ring. Determined to impress, he demonstrated his abilities once more. To his surprise, Elder Kai immediately recognized it as the Golden Dragon's body, a clear indication that Wu Lin possessed the legendary Golden Dragon bloodline. This revelation left Wu Lin pondering about the existence of others with similar bloodline abilities throughout the history of the Duluo continent. Elder Kai then challenged Wu Lin to hit her. Wu Lin hesitated, but she reassured him that she could handle it. She even promised him entry into the Sea God's Pavilion if he succeeded in defeating her. Wu Lin decided to go all out. With his golden dragon claw, he struck at Elder Kai, only to have his attack effortlessly deflected. Xiao Yan acknowledged the captain's strength, but also praised the teacher's power. Wu Lin understood that he needed to give it his all. He clenched his fists and delivered a powerful blow, but Elder Kai easily blocked it with her hand. She questioned his strength, prompting Wu Lin to push himself further. He unleashed a stronger attack, only to have it blocked once again. Elder Kai commended his efforts, but Wu Lin insisted he was even stronger. She demanded a demonstration, and Wu Lin transformed into his golden dragon form. Elder Kai was taken aback. As he soared through the air towards her, Wu Lin landed a powerful strike. Elder Kai realized his true strength and knew she had to take him seriously. The crowd gasped in disbelief as they witnessed Elder Kai's 9 spirit rings. Wu Lin's punch was effortlessly caught by Elder Kai, who retaliated with a powerful strike that sent him hurtling into a nearby wall. Grimacing in pain, Wu Lin couldn't deny the immense strength of his opponent. With a nod, Elder Kai gracefully walked away, signaling the next presenter to take the stage. Xiaoyan and Zi rushed to carry Wulin out of the arena while Gu Yue stepped forward to showcase her abilities. She mesmerized the audience with her mastery over elemental control, effortlessly displaying the strength of her mental power.